I'm a mom, right? And I cook for my family. So imagine that I wasn't the one really cooking. I had a cook who handles that, and then or I had someone helping me who handles that. And I what I do is that I give instructions to them. I decide that okay, this is the timetable, this is our food schedule, and this is why we must do this. And then the person now cooks based off my instructions, right? I am the controller, while the person carrying out my instructions is the data. So now, in business terms, a data controller is the person that has the platform, the app, right, that collects data and determines what data will be collected, why you're collecting the data, and what will be done with the data. While the data processor really is the person who, for example, maybe a cloud provider stores data and just does um, an operation to facilitate the instructions of the data controller. So, for example, if you are using a cloud app provider, you need to store your data. The cloud provider is the data processor. Why is this very important? Under the Nigerian Data Protection Act, right? The Act actually gives the primary obligation and puts it on the data controller to ensure that data is lawfully processed, lawfully collected, processed, and that it is also adequately protected. You also have adequate security measures, or you have ensured that the data, even if you're outsourcing it to third parties, is still going to be well protected. You have a primary responsibility as the data controller, irrespective of whether you outsource that technology to third parties. This does not mean that the data processor doesn't have obligations. It also has obligations to put in appropriate security measures, to raise alarms when there has been maybe a hack or an infiltration or the likes, and to just carry out the instructions of the data controller in a lawful manner in the best possible way. Right. So it's very important that when you are entering into relationships with third parties to carry out or to help with your operations, either a technological platform or just generally third parties who are helping out in processing your data, your information, you should have this in mind and understand, especially when you're the data controller, that you must have adequate measures in place to ensure that one, the data is lawfully collected, is lawfully processed, and that it is also well protected. I hope this has helped you. If you have any question, feel free to drop it or reach out to me as quickly or as soon as you can, and I'll be available to answer your questions. All right, and we look forward to sharing more insights with you.